Hello, everybody. All right, so there we go. All right, Rick. Well, how are you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Counting down the days. You know, 11 days, and I no longer live in the place that I live.
Well, in your current residence.
Well,
Um,
that's why I said I no longer live in the place that I live.
yeah. Um, well, as we're getting started here, you want to do a little intro, talk about anything you're working on, share any links or anything like that. Go
I'm
for it.
working. I'm working on life. Just people want to go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be very helpful. Build me up. Watch some stuff on my YouTube channel. Build up my hours watched. I really need that watch so I can start to be able to get super chats from people. I need like 3,000 hours watched. I'm just under 1,000. Like, I'm not sure what exactly I'm at. Here, let me find out while I grab my link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would probably help you quite a bit there.
Well, hopefully, when I get done part of my move, I can start making some more videos. Where is everything? I cannot find nothing. Okay, there's the meek stand, and there's the link in there. YouTube Studios.
All right, so here's if you guys want to go check out Rick's channel, help him get his watch hours up. And I know you're still doing the chill stream on Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah, right now I'm at 879 watch hours. I need to get up to 3,000. So
Wait. 879 in a year?
yeah,
Oh wow. uh,
well that's low. There was one time I had it over 4,000. I was up over 5,000 or 6,000.
you just didn't have the subscriber count, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, well, because last time I checked, I was over 1,000.
hours.
Yeah, hours. So
Yeah,
um,
well, I really went down in what I did.
yeah.
I'm down to 1 day a
Well,
week here. Like,
I'm probably reason I'm probably because I broadcast every night, so
yeah.
just about every night. Anyway, and JR's here. Hey, JR.
Hey,
Hail
there.
Zenu and Xena, peace be upon them. All right,
Sure,
alrighty
if you say
then.
so.
Hmm. So, anything else you want to mention before we? Because I think at least now we have three of us here, so
Not
um,
that I can think of offhand.
half of those 1,000 are me. Um, that's a possibility, Jr. I mean, that is a possibility, considering that they measure it over a 365-day period. And I think, as far as I know, you've been consistently watching for the last three. And I do know at least you've been consistently watching at least since spring, I would imagine, but probably longer for all I know. But anyways, so
probably,
yeah,
probably about good 6 months.
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So, anyways, as we're coming up on the 5 minute mark, so we'll kind of go over what we're going to be doing tonight. So, of course, this is our weekly look back at comics history. This week, we're looking at books that went on sale, comics that went on sale back in December 1939. Fox Feature Syndicate will, of course, be the books we'll be focusing in on tonight. Will be Fantastic Comics Volume 1, Number 3, Mystery Men Comics Volume 1, Number 7, um, and Wonder World Comics Volume 1, Number 10. Of course, we'll be featuring tonight Samson as well as Green Mask. And Rick, considering that he's one of your favorite characters, I gather you want to tell them The last
Yeah.
person we're going to be
Well,
reading.
well, I'm not sure whether I'd say he's one of my favorite characters, but he's definitely an interesting character. Yarko the Great!
All right. So, with that being said, why don't we go ahead? Let's get started.
It's just such an interesting name. Yarko.
Yep. Okay. And as soon as I can figure this out here. Now, you think you can read it from here, or did you
Yeah, I can read it.
read
Fantastic
it?
Feature Comics. Or is that
No, Fantastic Comics is I think just what they code it when they scan it and stuff. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
anyways, yes, they say here number 34, but I guess that was the reprint number, but this is technically issue number 3 from cover date February of 1940. 64 pages in full color. Um,
Interesting cover with that sort of a real person's face. Unless somebody did that afterwards. I think somebody
you
might
know
have done
what I'm actually guessing here. It's possible that might be because that does look superimposed actually. Because this is, I think, the 64 that we saw in the upper left hand corner. Yoshitra slays the Iron Monster. So now there's the actual. I guess there's the actual
cover.
Yeah, there's the actual comic right there.
Okay, and what did he have in the one hand up in the air on the other one?
Looks like a mace.
Oh yeah, it was still a mace. Okay.
So,
although I must say I like that robot. That's a really good drawn robot for that time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With all the gears and mechanics that are showing.
Super Spy, Stardust, Sub Saunders. Yeah. Oh, Samson slays the Iron Monster. So I guess this is kind of
a French maybe.
Yeah, probably. But Samson slays the Iron Monster. And then here's, of course, another way of doing the. Here's a wonderful news. Oh, could you imagine the horror of how people would react to this today? A BB gun being advertised in a comic book.
Yeah.
You just hear all the screeching already for that.
Well, see, it's not so much that it would be being advertised. It says for boys.
Well, maybe something for both, but there's. All right. So, anyways, Samson, a supermagnetic plane that is capable of lifting huge ocean liners, threatens the safety of the seas. And Samson, there, of course,
that would be one powerful magnet to be able to, lift that out of the ocean.
By Alex Boone. All right. SOS, 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 SOS. Giant ship captured by plane. Robbed. Flash! Piracy on the high seas. The most astounding disaster in sea history. The gigantic ship, SS Granada, was lifted from the surface of the sea by a mystery plane.
That plane wouldn't be much of a mystery for long, I think.
Yeah. Meanwhile, J.B. Regan, president of the Black Star line, listens to news of the disaster. So you want to do J.B. Regan right there? You got the word bubble.
Well, that's just a cool million in insurance in my pocket.
The SS Granada was a ship owned by the Black Star Line, damage estimated at $1 million, etc., etc.
Historian, I'm sending you on a very important error. I want these papers delivered immediately to Mr. Jackson at Bleak Street.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello, Jackson. This is JB Goodwork on Granada. I'm sending the money and the plans with my secretary.
Okay. Jean Dorn, unaware of her part in the plot, arrives at Bleak Street. This place gives me the jitters. Inside, she faces a room full of tough-looking thugs. Is Mr. Jackson here? You want to do Jackson as well there?
I'm Jackson. Girlie, give me the papers.
But Jean is suspicious, and on her way out, she stops and listens.
Tomorrow night, we pull the job on the SS Rainbow. There's a shipment of diamonds on that baby. We split half with Regan.
Jean hurries to the police station. So we see kind of an interesting scenario here. At least we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
Fraud, insurance fraud, because he's causing these things to happen. Regan's causing these things to happen to collect the insurance money. Piracy,
Theft.
right?
Well, yeah, theft, piracy. Yeah, but if it's piracy, but it's well, I guess it depends on how you look at it because he's stealing his own stuff. Or having people steal his own stuff isn't being really stolen.
Well, it would be because obviously, it's maybe the ship, but the cargo isn't necessarily his.
Yeah.
The cargo that would be on the ships are his. So if they were just simply stealing the ship, but I'm sure they're also stealing. Like they just talked about whole idea of the diamonds, right?
Yeah. Well, the question is the stuff on board his too? Are those diamonds his or are they not?
Yeah. And as always, guys, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people and engage here, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. So, continuing on here.
Yeah, definitely insurance fraud, but whether it involves the other stuff or not, it's hard to tell.
All right. So, at police headquarters. But I tell you, Captain, it is true. Regan is robbing his own ships with a magnet plane to collect insurance. Let's see. You want to do the captain right there?
Hey, well, yeah, you've been seeing too many movies, young lady. Regan is too big of a guy for that sort of stuff, eh?
Furious but helpless, Jean leaves the station. I must find help. Suddenly, and look at that, somebody's grabbing her from behind there.
Yeah.
She is carried to a waiting car. All right. Drive back to the hideout. And you're Jackson.
I hope you're comfortable, Mr. Reed. Hey, Finger, get the boss on the phone. I'll tell him about this.
At Regan's home.
No, don't get rid of her. Yet we may need her. We'll do the job tonight, just in case the cops are wise.
At midnight, the giant mystery plane roars out across the open sea.
Now, really, you have this plane that can lift up ocean tankers and fly them. You think you could do a whole lot better than that plane would be valuable. Heck, instead of them sailing the seas, you could just fly them across with this thing. You could make a hell of a lot more money, I think, than the insurance fraud.
Hmm.
Load up these big things, use the magnet plane, and boom,
Yeah. So
you'd be a billionaire.
JR is chiming in. Um, Insurance fraud, and then today's word is insurance fraud. All right, so as we
Yeah. This guy is for such a powerful plane. He's stupid, using really not a very good businessman.
I would think, well, why would you want to do this if you? I mean, unless his only thing I could think of is, well, this is also 1939, so and even though we were already coming out of the Depression, um, this guy I would think would be considered to have a pretty successful business there. Why would you be trying to kind of mess yourself over?
As much as you don't like it, there are probably reasons for insurance fraud, and probably have decent ones.
Yeah.
But I think this guy, he's got this plane that can do this. He'd make a lot more money not doing it. Build a fleet of these things, and like.
I mean, wait, maybe sell the plane to the government for weapons research or something like that. Maybe.
Well, there's that, but if you have this plane that can lift up these ocean tankers, oil tanker type ships, right? They're big, they're heavy, and if you can have a fleet of them, could you imagine instead of flying these things or instead of sailing them and taking, days or weeks to get across
You
the
just
ocean?
carry them to wherever they're going.
Yeah, and be there in a few hours, less than a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'd make a hell of a lot more money with 5 or 6 of these planes or more. And JR goes again, I think, is putting my statement. Yeah, more money in shipping.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. So, anyways, continuing on with the story, of course, the deadly magnet ray is over the huge SS Rainbow. The ship is lifted from the water. The force of the fall back to the waves demolishes the ship. The disaster astounds the nation. The harbor police are in a frenzy of activity. And I think you were the one doing the cheat there, so.
Well, I think this is a different guy, but I can do him if you want. It's
No,
another
it's the same
cop.
guy because look, he's referring to Gene Dorn, so that's the same guy.
Okay. Oh, we got to be finding Jean Dorn. She's the only one who can give us any clue. JR says you can fly them across Panama. Yeah. But forget Panama, you can just fly them from one place to another.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that I think is
right across land.
Yeah, I think that's one of the points that Rick was making there. So meanwhile, at the Bleak Street hideout.
So yeah, thought you could outsmart the boss, eh? See, he's Canadian. Let's see your police pals now.
But it is not the police that comes to Gene's aid. It is Samson, the most powerful figure of all times.
Hey, look, Arnie Samson!
As Samson approaches Regan, as Samson approaches, Regan reaches for the light switch and fires.
Lord, bullets don't stop him.
That might still be. Oh, in the dark, Regan escapes.
I think. Eek! Well, I think that would be the girl, Eek.
Oh. Eek! Samson finds the switch too late. He got away, but I'll catch up with him. They're not through yet. They're after the SS Colossal. Then I'll sail on that ship. But how can you stop them? The magnetic ray is impossible to stop. I promise you that no harm will come to that ship if I'm on it.
And
I'm
how do you
coming
know
with
it's
you.
impossible to stop? Nobody's even been able to try and stop it.
Well, I think what he's saying is that he can stop it. So,
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying. She said it's impossible to stop. Nobody's even tried to stop it yet. So
in civilian clothes, Samson arrives at the pier, forgetting his great strength. He rips off the cab's door. Oh boy.
well,
Talk
sorry
about
about
not knowing your strength, right, Rick?
yeah.
Talk about not knowing your strength. Let's see. Um, yeah, you're gonna pay for my cab door. Who do you think you are, Samson?
Who
Suddenly,
do you think
Samson.
you are, Samson?
Who do you think you are, Samson?
You gotta
And
make
back he is, Samson.
yeah.
Suddenly, Samson sees the gangplank lifting. Hmm. Boy, boy, he gave me enough dough to buy me a new cab. With a terrific leap, Samson spans the distance between the dock and the ship. Wow, kind of like Superman, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think I commented on that the last time that he definitely seemed to be. They gave him basically almost all the powers of Superman.
Mm-hmm. All right, so 100 miles out to sea, suddenly a plane appears in the distance. Look, there she is. I'll go see the captain at once. Samson rushes to tell the captain. Captain, it's absolutely necessary to drop anchor, otherwise your ship will be lifted um, bodily out of the sea. What nonsense? Who are you? I'm sorry, young man. I've no time for playing games. Get off the bridge, or I'll have my officers. All right, all right. I'll take matters in my own hands. Samson's mighty lungs contract in a shout that echoes over the water. Everyone below deck! The passengers obey Samson's orders. Samson's powerful hands lift the anchor and lower it as though it were a toy. Suddenly, a weak link snaps and the anchor chain breaks. The dreaded plane is nearing Samson. The dreaded plane is nearing. Samson acts quickly. Go below, Gene. Hurry.
She didn't go below with everybody else. And how did she get on the ship? Although I think you've seen her thing. She got on before Samson?
That might have been it. Or well, even though they said that he leaped onto the ship. We didn't actually. I don't. We probably just saw a silhouette of him leaving. For all we know, he could have been holding. He could have been holding her in his arms, like kind of like this or
Well,
something.
she wasn't in the cab, but with him, or it didn't look like it. She wasn't getting out of the cab. But the thing is,
She may have got.
I
She may
guess
have got on before then.
yeah, because he says he's gonna go make sure. She decides, I'm gonna take a trip on this thing that's gonna get captured. Like
Mhm.
yeah, okay, lady.
Yeah. Samson dives into the sea with with mighty superhuman strength. You like that with mighty superhuman. A little redundant there, huh? A little
Yeah,
redundant writing there, isn't it? With mighty superhuman strength, Samson defies the deadly magnet ray and beneath the sea, hold the ship on the surface. I know this is something that Tim criticized last week too. The fact that the characters are actually speaking underwater here.
Yeah, who's he speaking to? This should probably be more of a thought bubble, but
Probably, yeah. I mean that does make more sense, but
and technically you can talk underwater. It just ends up very
it's
garbled.
gonna sound like blah, 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 something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to me, it's like, okay, I get that he's holding it there,
Mm-hmm.
and really, when I think about it, it's
Mm-hmm.
really pretty pathetic. Just throwing the anchor aboard. He thinks, okay, because the anchor is going to go down to the bottom and latch onto something. He thinks that's going to really stop. Um, yeah, JR is basically saying what I'm about to try and say. Like I don't think the anchor
Well,
catching
what
up.
is that little emoji right there? Is that supposed to be a plane or something?
It's supposed to be a magnet, I believe,
Oh,
but he's
if a
using it
magnet
as
can raise a 2,000-ton ship, it can
20,000.
raise a 20,000-ton ship. It can raise a 2-ton anchor.
Yeah, a 2-ton anchor caught on something on the bottom. I don't think is going to really stop that magnet from lifting thing into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong,
Yeah.
And the fact that he's under there, like, and that he's holding on to that anchor, like he really needs to hold on to the anchor.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got to obviously hold on to something. I mean, again, he's said to have incredible strength, maybe on the level of Superman, right?
Yeah,
So it's possible that he does have, and maybe he's holding on to that anchor to help keep him grounded, right? Because if you can tell right there, his feet aren't planted on the sea bottom yet.
no,
So now, it'd be even more interesting to see if his feet were planted on the sea bottom and then he's holding on to that thing, right?
yeah. Well, that's what he should be doing, putting it, you know.
But of course, as we
Again,
know, the writers probably didn't think about that too much.
or the artist. Again, this goes with him just holding each piece. It does no much better than the anchor being there by itself. He needs to be flat and holding it down with resistance. But
Mm-hmm.
let's see what they do.
Yep. So let's see. I just want to just take a quick look back here to see. We're already 28 minutes into this. Wow. Okay. Anyway, and I'm gonna assume, even though they have the tale as if it's being spoken, I'm gonna assume it's more of a thought bubble. So I'll do the thought bubble thing here. Hmm. I should be able to hold my breath for at least 2 hours. But yeah, that should definitely be a thought bubble. I don't think he spoke that. I mean, well, if he could speak underwater, it's likely he could probably breathe underwater too. But anyways, Jean, believing Samson might die, disobeys the orders to go below. Samson, he's still underwater. Good heavens, he'll drown. Suddenly, she is drawn skyward by the force of the magnet ray.
Leave it to him.
Um, the only possible thing that she could be wearing that the magnet could even, because magnets attract metal. So the only thing I would, maybe a belt. She's wearing a belt of some type. That
Yeah,
could be.
or jewelry, or the rings and stuff like that. But there is the other thing. We do have iron in our bloodstream, so maybe it's so powerful that it's picking her up because of the iron in her bloodstream.
Okay, good point there. Help! Inside the plane, the crew is amazed at the failure of the magnet ray. You want to do these guys?
Oi, what's wrong? That Roy don't work. Nothing's wrong with the ray.
One of the men pulls in the girl who has now lost consciousness.
Well, look who's here. She must have something to do with this. We better turn back. We can't lift that ship. Yeah, we'll get that dame to spill what she knows.
Samson climbs back aboard ship. You've saved our lives. I shall see that you are rewarded. I'm not looking for a reward, Captain. Where is Miss Dorn? Search the ship quickly. Jean. Once again, he plunges into the sea and swims after the plane with the speed of a torpedo, churning the sea to white foam.
Okay, two things. That plane is long gone because for him to stop, holding it down for it would not the magnet not to take it. He has to climb up. They search the ship. That's going to take a little bit. That plane is long gone. He has no idea which way it went. He probably even just getting to the boat, he'd have no idea which way it went.
Well, as you pointed out before, too, though, they modeled him after Superman, so maybe he has, super senses here. I mean,
Yeah, but at this time, even Superman didn't have that good of super senses.
Well, maybe that's one of the ways they tried to distinguish him from Superman is that they heightened his senses even more than Superman was at this time.
Yeah, but they haven't explained that at this point.
Yeah. Well, one of the things Tim pointed out was maybe the writers were just assuming people would just follow it and not really think too hard about it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what the writers were doing. JR says Simpson left an expensive anchor on the bottom without a chain attached. Yeah, there's that too. You should have brought the anchor back up, so that way that ship has an anchor. Now it's anchorless.
Right. By dusk, he reaches the docks a few moments after the plane. The mystery plane soars toward a gigantic building. I already got that eventually. Suddenly, the walls open, revealing a secret hangar. We see this a lot in comics and cartoons, don't we? The old secret hangar. Kind of actually reminds me of a G.I. Joe episode where that's happened a few times with Extensive Enterprise.
With the twins.
Crimson Twins. Inside the hangar, Regan is waiting.
What do you mean something held the ship down? The gal says it was a man named Samson. Oh, and he isn't through with you yet, Regan.
Meanwhile, Samson discovers the secret hangar. That's a tricky little device. With amazing agility, he scales the steep wall.
Yes, he's Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man, yeah. With all his mighty power, Samson forces open the false facade of the building.
He is really big, though. He's like way bigger than any of those windows. It's like it's hard to. Well, those windows aren't very far apart either.
Yeah, I think you're still that's Regan right there.
What in blazes?
Samson. Suddenly, Jackson whips out a gun and shoots. Bang! Bang! But the bullet makes no impression.
Cut
Go ahead,
the bullets in his Hands
And
save
then
your
I think
bullets.
what the is the second part. Then Simpson speaks.
What the?
Uh, save your bullets. I have no use for them. With a terrific wrench, he rips the propeller and smashes the motor. I don't think boys like you should have this sort of thing to play with.
Don't let him
like
get
how he
away
says
with
that. I like
that,
how he says
boy.
that right there.
Yeah.
I don't think boys
Now,
like you should have things like this to
uh,
play with.
now I wonder whether these sort of things that we see in comics like this, anybody tried to make these things in real life. Is that where they got their ideas, or did this give anybody the idea to try and do stuff like this?
Well, maybe somebody had to have the idea somewhere, right?
Anyways, don't let me get away with that, boys.
Samson swings at Regan's men. Jean slips away during the fight and reaches a phone. Hello, police? This is Jean Dorn. If you'd like to pick up Regan and his gang, come on up and join the fight at the Imperial Building. Suddenly, Regan sneaks in the ruined plane and turns the deadly magnet ray on Samson.
If bullets can't stop you, this will.
The force of the ray at such close range is terrific. Samson strains, his powerful muscles tightening like steel. At last, with a powerful jerk, he is he is free. Now, in this particular case, Rick, let me ask you this: what does the term "jerk" mean here?
Sudden movement.
Right, as opposed to
An
a
idiot.
guy or somebody who's just acting obnoxiously, right?
Yeah.
All right. Not so fast, Mr. Regan. Not so fast. He whirls upon Regan, drags him from the plane, and hangs the scoundrel midair upon the magnet ray. Well, Regan, it looks like you're caught in your own evil device. It's a terrible thing when people put their trust in men like you.
Now, with this being as powerful as it is, this magnet, and they're
Mhm.
inside a building that most likely the girders are steel.
You're
Wouldn't you
wondering
think?
why the building doesn't collapse, right?
Yeah, something to that effect.
Again, a leap in logic. It probably wasn't something. Probably one, it wasn't something that was pertinent to the story,
Yeah,
and
they
two, it's
did think
probably
of
something
it.
they didn't really think. Like probably didn't have that thought that you just had, Rick. They're
Yeah,
like, oh, we're gonna make this very powerful magnet, and of course, it's so powerful that it might actually um, bring the girders all down and the building all down altogether. Probably weren't thinking that far ahead. They're just because
yeah,
my guess is the reason some of this stuff happens probably is because it's not pertinent to the story, right?
yeah. They don't think of the ramifications of what something like this thing would do to everything around it. And it was the way it is the back then, and even nowadays they don't think about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the magnet isn't the evil device; it's the people using it.
Right.
Because I'm just answering Jr's
Yeah.
question. Why and how is a magnet an evil device?
Hmm.
Oh, did it say evil device?
Well, if it did, it was probably a writing error. So. But anyways, continuing on here. Are you all right, Gene? Yes, Samson. But they would have killed me if you hadn't come when you did. Tell me who you are, or tell me who are you? Why do you fight crime? I am a defender of the weak. I live to aid humanity and combat crime and corruption. Let me ask you something, Rick, because I know you're a Bible guy, right? You're
Yeah,
biblical. You think that now, granted, we talked about this. So the way they set this Samson up, he's supposedly a descendant of the biblical Samson, when it
yeah.
was the Bible, right? From what you know of the Samson back then, do you think that if he did find himself in modern times, he would be a crime fighter? You think he'd go out and try to like fight crime and
Well,
protect the innocent and all that?
well, he might to a degree, but the it says with the reason he would probably say is because of God, not what he said there. I forget exactly what, because you know we do see Samson having done certain things. He was a bit of military for his. He was a judge of the country, so he did go against. He did fight crime in a way back then, but not
Mm-hmm.
like we would think today.
Right. Yes, it said a magnet is evil, and Samson is Jewish, so he love in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
All right. All right. So, anyways, continuing on with the with.
not New York proper.
By this time, the police answering Gene's call rushed to the building. As the police arrive, the mighty Samson is gone. Um. Oh, I think that might be you right there.
Oh, don't tell me. You cleaned up this mob single handedly.
Samson deserves all credit for it.
And he corrects himself live, not love. Oh, who is Samson?
He's the greatest and strongest man in the world. He alone broke up Regan's gang for the benefit of all humanity. His task done, Samson vanishes into the night. Samson in the next episode fights a horde of robots.
Well,
Fantastic Comics is on sale the 10th of every month.
well, I have to say, I doubt it was for the sake of all humanity because maybe, the businesses that are getting defrauded and stuff like that and are, but, you know, the insurance fraud was not hurting or these ships being stolen in the process or taken from what wasn't hurt a big hurt on humanity.
Well, look at some of these other features here, and look at how colorful they are. Look how bright and colorful they are, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say bright, a bit of colorful, but then again, that's the scan, that's the inking of the coloring of the time. So maybe for its time, it was sort of bright. We'll say,
Yeah. Well, this is a good scan too. Here,
yeah, uh,
I'm just kind of flashing through just to, just so you know,
yeah.
Ray Smith.
People get a little bit of a look at what else is in the comic. They may not be able to get to read it much, but
Yeah, just again, part of it is just to give an idea of what was going on back then and how they were presenting things. Captain Kidd, Captain Kidd Explorer, aviator type story here, aviator adventurer type. Secrets of Magic on Hocus Pocus. Professor Fiend. Oh, look at that. You know who that kind of looks like, don't you?
Yeah, you. No.
No. I was thinking it looks like kind of kind of maybe a more weirder, funnier version of Dr. Savannah from
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. From Fame.
He says so many stories in one book for 10 cents. Yes, and that seems like very little to us, but 10 cents back then was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although I don't think we could get the same book for about the same amount nowadays.
Well, yeah. Well, plus these were anthologies too. Whereas
Yeah,
today
well,
most books are feature books, right?
yeah, but this is a what, 68 page book?
64, 68 pages around there. Yeah.
Yeah, without ads, of course. That's story I'm talking about. So and 10 cents, I'm not sure what inflation would make 10 cents from. Today, this is 1939,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's see
Yeah,
what I
but
can.
the thing for me, is that at least from an artistic standpoint, right, from a drawing standpoint, these cartoons, or I'm sorry, these comics are reminiscent of the cartoons from around the same period there. Very, very, for the time, very detailed, very, very good looking art here. Bright, really, really draws you in, you know, much like the comics from this time period, from like in a little later 40s and 50s. So, so now we're going to move on to Mystery Men Comics, Volume 1, Number 7. I'm going to read the Green Mask story from that one. Samson was a 13 pager, and then the next two are going to be 8 pages each. So, all right. So let me see where we're at on time. I'm pretty sure we're pretty good on time there. Yeah, 48 minutes. Okay. Um,
Okay. Yeah, so it's saying 10 cents in 1938 9 is like $2.21 today. And we are paying way more than that for a lot
well, we're
less
paying
than
what, almost 3 to 4 times that amount.
we're paying at least double that for most comics today for like a third of what's in a third of the pages.
Mm-hmm. Almost seems like highway robbery, doesn't it?
He went and found it. 10 cents in 1939 would be 212 today. He did the same thing as me, but he got a slightly different result, I think.
All right. So here's Mystery Men Comics, and from the looks of it, by this point, looks like they were basically Blue Beetle was becoming the lead feature on here. That's the term I was looking for earlier. Hey, Rick, if you want to talk to the chat for a moment, I just need to go
Yeah.
off camera here for a quick moment. I'll be right back.
So yeah, even back then that was a good deal compared to today, especially compared to today. I wish comics were only still you could get a 68 page comic for plus ads, for $2.12 or 21 cents. Forget who cares if it was 2.21, it would still be a good deal. Getting a comic for $2.21.
Yeah, the point you were making there, if you could get a comic that was 68 pages for $2.12, that would be quite a deal today. Because as you were saying, for you'd pay 3 or 4 times as much for a third of the page count there, right?
Yeah. You pay about double because it's usually $4 to $5.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought they were up to like $6 to $8.
Well, it depends. I think the ones that are $6 or $8 have a few more pages in them. But the average comics that has the 20 to 22 pages plus
Mhm.
ads.
Hmm. All right. Well, anyways, let's look through here. Of course, there's Blue Beetle from back then.
Well, I haven't picked up a new comic in a while, but last time I knew, most comics are JR 32 pages with 10 pages of ads.
Lieutenant Drake, Green Mask, D13. And I was just reminded of another feature we could look at aside from, of course, Golden Knight. Uh, from Fantastic Comic, because I think we did Super Wizard there before too. So this is the Blue Beetle story here. Of course, we're
The
gonna
Boo
go on.
Beetle.
Yeah, we're gonna move on down though to well, look at his costume there. His costume's a little. His costume's even. Now early on here, they were switching his costume around quite a bit. Here and there.
Yeah, well, this is more to what most people are used to for the first Blue Beetle.
Uh huh.
And,
Well,
and look,
look at
look,
that big belt though with the big with the gold.
he's got the beetle signal.
Yeah.
If
There's
you go up,
huh?
he's got the beetle signal. I think up a little bit more, or is it down a little bit more?
You mean
Oh,
that on the right there?
yeah, the beetle signal.
There's Wayne Turner. Let's see. Rex Dexter, Interplanetary Adventure. Here we go. The Green Mask
Yeah.
and the Crime Syndicate by Walter Frame.
Is this anything like the Green Hornet?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't.
No. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Hmm. Rod Riley, Chicago's leading hoodlum, receives a message. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll be there. Shive Parker, St. Louis #1 gangster, receives a message. You want to do Shive Parker there?
Pack the bags, Joe. We're taking a choo-choo to the big city.
Let's see. Goldie Gates, Vice King of San Francisco, also gets a message. You want to do this guy?
American Airways, reserve a seat for me on the 410 plane to New York.
Frankie Ciccone, the man who sent all the messages. All have sent their answers. They'll be here. Good. The four arch leaders of crime meet at Ciccone's penthouse. My purpose is bringing you together, gentlemen, is to organize crime on a nationwide scale. Separately, we are great powers in our own sections, but together we can rule the country and who knows, perhaps the whole world. Oh, a megalomaniacal gangster.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, Sounds good. And then
Get me in.
we'll organize like a gigantic business. You, St. Louis, St. Louis, will be in charge of kidnapping, and you, Chicago, are noted for your skill in of disposing of unwanted factions. Bumping people off, basically.
Yeah.
You mean rubbing out chiselers? That's my dish. A toast, gentlemen. And we say this together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. To the crime syndicate. I know doing Goldie and the other guy there were probably been hard.
Yeah, I was trying to only do one of them, but
Yeah. The Green Mask at home. Things are too quiet. Like a lull before a storm. And the storm breaks. Robbery. Bang! A new crime wave is sweeping the country. The FBI is stepping in. Merchants groan under new rackets, but none will testify. Just a minute, Gate Mouth. I want to speak to you.
Green Mask. Say, the boss wants to speak to you.
The boss? Who's he?
Come with me. I'll introduce you.
Now for that character right there. That's a good voice, Rick. That's a good voice for that character. You caught that one. Green Mask. I've been wanting to meet you. Well, you have. Now what? I'm Frankie Ciccone. This is Shy Parker. This is Rod Riley, and this is Goldie Gates. Displeasure is all mine. Ciccone explains the setup to the Green Mask, and with you on our side, we'll rule the country. I'll think it over and let you know. You'll have to let us know right now. You see, Green Mask, we want you to work with us. But if not, you won't work at all. You know too much. Gentlemen, since you put it that way, I've already made up my mind, and will work not for you, but on you. Nice little twist of wording right there.
Yeah.
And now I'll bid you adieu until I bang into you all again. Just the puns here. The puns, huh?
Yeah.
But the Green Mask does not depart. He secrets himself to hear what the arch criminal's plans are. Riley, you've got to bump off the Green Mask. I'll get him. I've a plan that'll net us $50 billion in gold.
No, that's 50 million.
50 million. Oh yeah, 50 million in gold.
Woo!
The SS Britannica sails in 4 days from Liverpool for America with $50 million in gold. Shive and Rod will fly to Liverpool on the Clipper and book passage. You'll plant dynamite in the hold. We'll meet you in mid-ocean on the yacht. We'll transfer the gold and then blow up the ship. There'll be no survivors, and it'll be blamed on a submarine.
You'll kill all those people.
Dead people don't talk. The Green Mask slips away and meets his friend Dokes. And that's their plan. I've got to save those people. You want to do jokes right there?
But how?
The Green Mask makes preparations. These bombs will come in handy. The SS Britannica readies to sail.
Got the dynamite?
It's in the bag. Meanwhile, a seagoing yacht ships out of a New York berth.
We ought to meet the Britannica sometime tomorrow.
This baby will help the dynamite along. The Green Mask's powerful plane is winging over the ocean. There's an American destroyer. On the bridge of the destroyer, the plane is coming down, sir. Heave to! Hey, Maskman, take me to your commander. So you see, great haste is required to save the Britannica. It sounds incredible. We'll go to her and under forced draft and aid under forced draft. Green Mask flies on ahead. Meanwhile, the yacht heads off the SS Britannica. Heave to! This will stop any call for help. One of the thugs smashes the radio. The crooks board the Britannica and overpower the captain and crew.
Get your gold up here quick, or I'll blow you up.
The gold is brought on deck.
Okay, Rod, you get it aboard the yacht.
We're ready to blow up this tub. There are the two boats now. I hope I'm not too late. Zooming down, the Green Mask drops a bomb toward the yacht and scores a direct hit. Boom! The crooks are trapped on the ship. Hey, that plane sunk our yacht. Get rid of the dynamite. We'll all drown.
Frankie, there's a ship coming. It's a destroyer.
The naval men quickly overpower the crooks while the Green Mask lands.
I'll get you for this.
Where you're going, you won't get anything but time. We can't thank you enough, Green Mask. Skip it. So long. I'll leave these rats in your hands. And the Green Mask wings away. Extra! Plot to sink SS Britannica foiled by Green Mask. I'll be seeing you next month. Follow the Green Mask Adventures in the next issue. Look right there. How you see how he broke the fourth wall right there?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool there.
Yeah.
From a comics perspective, breaking the fourth wall like that.
Now, I know his name isn't very spectacular, but I think they could have done something more with his costume. I know he's called the Green Mask. Maybe put a little bit more green in his costume.
Well, he does have a green mask.
You know, like maybe does he have gloves on? But his boots at least should be green.
Well, his mask is green, and that's what he's called, Green Mask.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just talking more to accentuate things.
Well, again, it may have just been something. Maybe they just
Yeah, he does have gloves on,
and they look like they're blue, just like the majority of his suit there.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. I just thinking they could have done something to make him stand out a little bit more. He just looks Plain?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes simple is better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
There's Billy Bounce. Like the guy's got Billy Bounce there by the pants, the backside there. Cheng Chang.
Cha-chang? What sort of money is this bringing in? Cha-chang?
I don't think that's what they meant by it.
Yeah. Neither do I, but,
Lieutenant Drake of Naval Intelligence. And again with these anthologies, just how mixed they are. You have superheroes, but you also have
a lot of other stuff.
adventures. You have High Point, and he said Bengal Lancer, the Jungle Adventure, right there. Look at the variety and diversity they had back in these times, right?
Yeah.
Hemlock Sholmes and Dr. Potsdam, which was a parody I take it on Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Yeah.
D13, Secret Agent.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something to drink.
All right. Captain Savage, Sea Rover by Francis Drake. There's Zanzibar, the Magician. Of course, we won't focus on that magician this week. Here we go. Here we go. We're just going back up and prepare to move on to the final we'll be looking at tonight from Wonder World Comics.
A damn buck.
All right. So, anyways, of course, Rick, I'm gonna let you do the voice of Yarko. Of course, you do it
Oh,
so well.
I'm Yarko.
Yes, you are. Okay, so well, according to this, now we only have one person watching. That doesn't seem right. Don't you have a YouTube window open, Rick?
Yeah, I do. And I'm sure it only says one watching on my end too. On there, maybe JR left, although it should be still two with you and me.
Yeah. Yes, YouTube will sometimes do that, unfortunately.
Well, as long as they're counting the view or whatever.
Yeah. Wonder World Comics, and says February number 10. Which there's the Flame right there on the cover. Yarko the Great, Spark Stevens, and Patty O'Day. Let me just, before we get down too far, then let me check where we're at on time here. Hour and 10, so we're making good time then, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's the Flame. The guy can travel through any form of flame, including candles.
Yeah, I might somehow incorporate him into my universe because I'm pretty sure he is.
Public domain.
Yeah, I
Oh
might
yeah, he
end up
probably
making.
is.
I might end up making him a World War I superhero.
Well, he may already be a well, because I think this feature did run well into this
Yeah,
character.
he's World War II here.
Oh,
I just mean in my universe, I might make him World War I.
oh, okay. Or more like early 1900s as opposed to mid 1900s.
Yeah,
Now, here we go. Yarko the Great. Returning from a brief. Yarko the Great, Master of Magic by Anthony Brooks. Returning from a brief stay in Hindustan, Yarko finds himself driving over the mountain roads of Duchy of uh, Morziowa. Um, in the year 1123, the Baron Rarik, known as the Bloody Baron, returned from the wars to this small duchy of Moriziara. Once a kind and just man, he came back cruel and selfish, taxing the people beyond endurance and imprisoned many beautiful maidens in his castle. One day, the populace um, stormed the palace and burned the baron at stake. Before before the before he perished, he swore to return from the dead each year at the full of the moon and take from them the most beautiful maiden. Each year, a maiden disappears from the village. Wow, so a bit of an urban legend here.
Yo.
As he reaches a bend in the road,
There's a car coming straight at me.
Yarko swerves, but the speeding car smashes into the rear of his auto.
Anyone hurt?
No thanks. Uh, no thanks to your quick thinking. Just a little shaken. Permit me to introduce myself. Oh, okay. That looks like a girl there, but I guess they're introducing them as with a boy's name there. Permit me to introduce myself. I'm Albert Deach, and this is my fiance. Oh, okay, all right,
They just had the arrow going to the
They
wrong.
put the tail on the wrong character. They put the
Yeah,
tail on the wrong character. The tail should go to the guy there, not the girl.
yeah.
Permit me to introduce myself. I'm Albert Deach, and this is my fiancée, Sonia Moran, a native of this country.
Charmed. I say, are you the son of Dean Ditch, the scientist?
Why, yes. Who are you? Did you know him?
Yes, we met in India several years ago. Tam Yarko. I am Yarko.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if you would have seen this commercial up where you're at, Rick, but the way you said "I am Yarko" right there reminds me of a commercial here in the states for. So you have these two kids talking to their mother, right? And you got this gigolo guy, playing a bunch of playing like with a VR visor and all that. and the kids are trying to the mother who's like probably in her 70s or whatever, and the guy is in his like I don't know 20s or 30s or something like that. So she's supposedly in love with him or what have you, and the kids are basically trying to explain to her that he's a because she's a gagillionaire or gazillion gagillionaire or
Yeah,
um
very rich.
yeah, well, not rich like money wise, rich like technology wise.
Okay.
She's got some kind of internet system where she's like a gagillionaire or something like that, right? And so, and at one point, the guy goes, I am whatever his name was, and you know, just the way you said Yarko's name reminded me of that commercial. It's a
Oh,
pretty funny commercial, but I don't know if you would have seen it up where you're at.
doesn't sound familiar, but then again, I haven't watched. I don't see a lot of commercials. I don't watch regular TV too often.
Hmm. Okay, well, anyway.
So it's you
Oh,
now. He
yeah.
talked.
I'm trying to figure out here just because he talked of you often. He said you were the greatest magician in the world.
Come down a bit. That way we.
No, I thought you had to go. No, I think you go left, then we come back. Oh wait,
Oh yeah, because you got to get up to the castle door. Yeah.
I think that's
No,
you.
no. I think it is though. So it looks right at the castle door there. Because what a creepy place. No.
No, because look, you go. Okay, so from where we were, right? Where it says I am
Yeah.
Jorgen, and he talked of you often, and then they're still at the bottom of the hill there towards the castle, and then you go down to the three panels at the
Yeah.
bottom.
It's just unfortunately the stuff in the next panel doesn't.
Um, well,
The
look it
first
over. Look
sentence.
it over. Okay, I'll go back and I'll reread the one panel here, and then it should
No,
So
no, I get it. He talked to you saying often, blah blah blah. It says a gross exaggeration. Oh, maybe
well,
that's
that's Yarko speaking right there. A gross.
what it is a gross exaggeration. It's getting dark. Let us try to get a night's lodging in that castle.
Good
I
idea.
guess
Good idea. There isn't an inn around here for miles. Hmm. What a creepy old place.
try using this knocker.
But at Yarko's touch, the door creaks open by itself. Eek! The bloody Baron!
Take Sonia out of here, Albert, at once.
Wait, don't go yet. Would it deprive us the presence of so fair a maiden? Come here, my pretty.
Stay where you are, Baron. Quickly, Albert, to the door.
The door is locked, Yarko. Hee hee. You're trapped. Seize these mortal fools, men. Ah, come, my dear. Look at me. I'm going to faint. Sonia, my darling! Sonia! Aha! I hold the power now, Yarko. I go now to the Valley of the Shadows. Valley of Shadows. Follow me if you dare. Poof!
The magic dragon.
He disappeared, Yarko, and he's taken my Sonia. Do something, Yarko. Why are you taking that sword?
It's the sword of Bloody Baron. With it, I can contact him.
See, you mean in you're going to follow him into death?
Yes, ours.
Yarko, it is too dangerous. You may never return. But heedless of his pleas, Yarko melts into the wall and appears again off a bleak cliff in the silent valley of shadows below. Him on a tortuous, winding road walks a baron. Ah, so the mortal magician follows me. Slay the fool, I will go on.
Stop, Baron! I command you!
In a desperate effort, Yarko gestures, but his magic fails him. It is useless in the strange void between life and death. Aha, magician, your magic avails you not. The Baron soldier lunges at Yarko, but he deftly parries.
Hello, Cam. How are you tonight? Cam asks, what's your favorite Pompeii? Pompeii?
What's your favorite Pompeii? I have no idea because I don't know what you're referring to.
He switches to what's your favorite volcano? I think Pompeii is a volcano. I don't know what my favorite volcano would
Don't
be.
really have one either.
I've never really thought of it. I don't know all the volcanoes that there are, so.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back to the.
Your ancients were not so adept as history tells us. Now, to find the Baron. Surprised you, eh?
With a sharp right cross, Yarko sends the second of his adversaries hurtling off the cliff.
Now, for you, Baron. As long as there wasn't another thing at the bottom of that.
Hold on. I don't think so.
No.
More of a picture. Anyways, let me check. Let me check the before we try to go on here. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. So you'll not find me so easily beaten, magician.
I have other ways of dealing with you. I have the power of calling back the past. Your past will destroy you, Baron. By the thunder gods of the ancients, I command Leslos, princess of the house of Soboski, whom you murdered.
All right. I think it's pronounced. I think the two names are pronounced Lyosa and Sobieski.
Okay.
Um, I have waited. I have waited many centuries for this chance to venge my murder.
Retorno of Greece, Clanea of Egypt, I call thee forth.
No, no, don't! You dog!
Killing me won't save you, murderer. For centuries he has stalked the earth, committing murders. Now he must pay for his crimes. Yet you're not a mortal being, are you, Baron? I now release the Furies and destroy you.
And there's a big explosion right there. Frightened beyond reason, the Baron seeks to escape, but all around him rises his victims seeking vengeance. Yeah, that's got to be something. You killed all these women, and now they're all coming to rip you to shreds. That's got to be that's got to be really horrifying.
Yes. Thus ends the legend of the Bloody Baron. He will walk the earth no more.
Marco, how can I ever thank you?
By promising never to relate what you have seen. Now we'll return to life and Albert.
Yarko, Sonia, thank heaven you're safe. It seemed as though you were only gone a moment.
Really? I guess I was.
Follow another exciting adventure of Yarko the Great in the next issue. Wonderworld Comics is on sale the 28th of every month. So there's Shorty Shortcake right there.
I'm short. What is he? He was about that short.
Let's see, Patio Day, newsreel reporter. So basically, in kind of a kind of looking very similar to Lois Lane right there.
Yeah.
Don't you just love those damsel in distress poses?
Yeah.
Let's see,
The Fung.
Doctor Fung, Master Sleuth of the Orient, which of course would get a lot of people screaming right now because Tommy Taylor in the Land of the Above the Clouds by S.M. Iger. Story, Tex Mason, the Phantom Ranger. Yeah, it's like these anthologies are just cool with how they diverse. You get westerns, you get space stuff, you get aviators, you get
Magic.
superheroes. You get a little bit of everything here.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
On Quixote and
In my life.
Spark Season.
Comic number 5. Instead of Mumbo number 5, it's comic number 5.
A little bit of Monica by the side, a little bit of Hootie, oh why.
A little bit of Lois in my life. A little bit of Patty O'Day today.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're on hour 29 here.
An hour and a half, yeah.
So, let's see. I'm just thinking, should I maybe I? Oh, let's see. Actually, might have enough time to get through one more story. I guess I'll go back and read the Patio Day story. That's also 8 pages. Just there we go. Patio Day, newsreel reporter. Um, And you want to do Ham right there? That's Ham over there who's speaking right now. Want to do Ham?
Okay, give me a sec. Okay. Are the, these munitions are these munition explosions are no accident, Patty?
Madam did not sleep. Did not sleep long. I just got a phone call. There's been another munition plant blown up. Hurry, Ham.
Another another explosion. I wonder who's doing all this. This is the biggest disaster yet.
Look, poor fellow. He's still alive, Ham, and we must help him. Pl- uh, pl- please take me home. The hospitals will be crowded. Let's do as he wishes. At the home of the wounded worker, my son, you should have followed my advice and reported those men. Hear that, Ham? Does your son know who caused the explosion? Hmm. Don't tell her, mother, or we will be killed. The threats will no longer keep me quiet. They offered my son money to help them gain entrance to the factory. You say that. You say that. You don't know the names of these men, but that your son met them at Red Devil Tavern? Come on, Ham. We have work to do. So that's kind of a jump there.
Yeah.
Now in that conversation, even though she didn't say that, Patty picked up on that. Did you see that, Rick?
Well, she did say or do something. If you go up to the previous panels, yeah. But she picked up on she heard my son
But
should have followed.
she did not say they were at the Red Devil Tavern until that point. So Patty said it.
Oh, okay. The Red Devil, yeah.
Patty and Ham lose no time in going to the Red Devil Tavern. They find it in the heart of the Monte Marte district. Um, let's see. Huh. There is a party going on. Should be easy for me to get information. You'd better wait outside meanwhile.
Just shout if you need me, party.
Right. Quietly mingling with a group of gay revelers, Patty enters the
And
building.
that means happy.
Yeah, not the term we mean it today. It just simply means happy or festive. You know, um, realizing that the gaieties but a front for sinister plots, Patty keeps a sharp eye peeled for any suspicious characters. When she sees, of all people, Lord Mike, I'm sure he, I'm sure he's some sort of secret agent. Looks mighty suspicious, his being here. In the meantime, a sentry posted at one of the upper story windows notices Ham. You want to do the sentry right there?
Felice! Felicity! Come here!
No, it's Felice. It's Felice.
Felice, come here! That fathead's been spying on us all evening. Go down and see what he knows.
Hello, big boy. Doing anything tonight?
Yeah, minding my own. Oh yeah, I'm minding my own business.
Boo, boo hoo hoo. You don't like little Felice?
Oh, turn off the tears, kid. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Oh, so you're like me after all. You buy me a drink, yes? A few hours later at the Red Devil Bar. Come on, tell Felice.
There's party dancing. There's party dancing with Lord Mike. I'll fix his wagon.
And I think you're first
Yeah.
there.
Oh, see that guy with the screwy mustache? That's your man, Lord Mike.
That's all I want to know. Ham follows a girl through several rooms and sees her slide back a secret panel.
Bet she's going to the gang's hideout. A secret passage.
Grab him! Honk. Bam! More of the gang join in the fight. Ham takes them as they come.
Oh, you guys don't know how to fight.
Until he is knocked out from behind. You're some tough baby, but I guess that'll hold ya. With Ham safely out of the way, the foreign agents force Patty and Lord Mike into a corner and kidnap them. Lord Mike is led off for questioning. The hand and foot Patty is roughly tied hand and foot. Patty is roughly pushed into a dark room. We'll take care of you later. As her eyes become accustomed to the dimness, she sees Ham.
Oh, so they got you too, Patty. I'm responsible for that. Me and my bone-headed detective work.
They look like they have him kind of smiling there too. You notice that?
Yeah.
Hobbling over to Ham's chair, Patty works the rope loose, freeing him.
Oh, look, we got no time to lose.
We will soon be untied.
Need it up just a touch. Oh, I've got enough rope here to reach the floor below.
Pat, look. I can see Lord Mike down below. Okay. Obviously there's a little bit of a writing error here, either writing or lettering here. I think since it's Patty speaking, it should have probably been Ham. She should have said Ham, not Pat.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a goof there. This is what Patty saw through the knothole in the floor. Oh, look at this. Now this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nice, we get actually. Look at how they drew that too.
Yeah,
It really
that's
gives you the experience of looking through that knothole, as if you're right there. So you won't talk, eh? Let's finish him off then get the two upstairs. Using the rope that tied them, they lower themselves to the floor below. Suddenly, Ham attacks. He grabs a gun and covers the gang.
put them up. Put them all of you. Lord Mike, get their guns. You two, run for help. I'll keep them under arrest.
You Americans, you not only saved the life of my friend Lord Mike, but you also capture for us the enemy's best secret agents. Later, at the office of the Major Gear, then Lord Mike is one of your secret agents, after all. That's a story. All right, so that's a story for you to hear from his own lips. Patty has the strangest, most exciting adventure of her career in the next issue. Wonderworld Comics is on sale the 28th of every month. All right. So, how did you like the stories tonight, Rick?
Good, good, really good.
They were pretty entertaining, weren't they? Pretty interesting.
Yes.
Granted, there were some leaps of logic there, as always seems the case with these stories. But
Yeah, especially in the first one.
yeah,
Some of them it's easier to go with, but some of them it's a little harder.
yeah. So anyway, let's see. So hour 42. So yeah, it's probably a good time to start wrapping up in here. Um, all right. Any final words before we get into this day and each? Any final words or final commentary on the stories you read tonight? Before
That's what I can think.
all right, yawn first, then speak.
That nothing I can think of right now.
And I hope, of course, you'll try to be back here on Sunday to share your experiences with the
Oh yeah.
rest of the class, as it were. All right. So, well, with that, as we're now getting close to hour 45, we're going to start to wrap things up a bit here. So now, today being Friday,
We do
October the
that. I'll
20th.
be right back.
All right. Friday, October 20th, 2023. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history. History! All right. So of course. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with this. Well, yeah, I'll just wait till Rick gets back before we get started here. But hopefully everybody's will have a good week here. Of course, we will be back here on Sunday for our weekend edition where we'll do our panel discussion. Um, hopefully you guys will be back for that. Last week, of course, we had a pretty lively discussion over the situation going on with Eric July. RJ eventually came in to join in on the RJ Carter came in to join in on that conversation. We learned quite a bit, didn't we? Of course, and next week we'll be back here with, of course, Tim Olson from, Tim Olson will be joining me next week to co-host. As we'll be looking, as I'll be introducing you guys to Hillman Comics. We'll be looking at some of their work from December 1939. So, anyways, let's see. Yeah, we went through 4 stories tonight. So, We're just waiting for Rick to come back here before. Yeah. Here he comes. Here he comes to save the day. It's Rick Piper all the way.
What was that?
I was kind of singing your name with the Mighty Mouse theme to it.
Oh,
Is Rick Piper coming back all the way? All right. So, anyways, with you back now, let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. And first off, we're going to head back to 1933.
oh, well, that's before we were reading today.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to 1933 here. The silent animated short Beanstalk Jack premiered in movie theaters. Premiered on this date 90 years ago today, back in 1933, from I can find it here, by Terry Toons. So it probably premiered on Terry Toons Beanstalk Jack premiered in theaters on this date back in 1933. So 90 years ago today.
And it was 6 minutes, so wouldn't that been a feature presentation back then?
No, it wasn't. That was standard for. So a lot of those shorts on average.
Yeah, I know.
These shorts, a lot of those cartoon shorts, on average, were about 7 minutes. Some ran as short as 5. Some ran as long as 10. Now 10 would probably be more of a mini feature there, but for the most part, these shorts were right around 6 to 8 minutes or so. So, but on this date, 90 years ago today, Beanstalk Jack from Terry Toons premiered in theaters. Most likely, as I understand it, 20th Century Fox. So, with that, moving on to the next piece in each history. On this date, 60 years ago, in 1963, the anime we here in the States know as Gigantor. Over in Japan, it was called Tetsujin 28 Go, but we know it better as Gigantor. Premiered on, what was that?
I did a drawing of him once.
Yeah. Premiered on Fuji TV on this date 60 years ago today. On this date 60 years ago today, Gigantor premiered, which of course it ran in syndication when it originally ran in English, and then Adult Swim picked it up from 2005 to 2007. So 60 years ago today, Gigantor premiered in Japan on Fuji TV. So
cool.
And then moving on to next piece of Nietzsche history here. Moving ahead to 1999, which was 24 years ago today. On this date, 24 years ago today, the 5th and final issue of Contest of Champions #2, Contest of Champions 2 from Marvel Comics went on sale on this date back in 1999. Sold for $2.50, which is still more than what a comic would have been priced back in 1939. Obviously, based on what we're talking about there. 32 pages. The story was Victory, written by Christopher Claremont, or Chris Claremont, as most people know him.
Yeah, and as it says, 23 pages of stories. So, like 68 pages. That's practically 3 times as much story content, and it was still definitely more than inflation.
Penciled by Oscar G. Jimenez, inked by Eduardo Aluente, lettered by Albert de Schintz, and colored by Dennis Calero. So, on this date, 24 years ago today, the 5th and final issue of Contest of Champions 2 from Marvel Comics went on sale. And finally, on this date, 20 years ago today, back in 2003, which was the night after that year's No Mercy pay-per-view, I believe, on this date 20 years ago today, from the KC Plaza in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the KC Plaza. Goldberg in a World Heavyweight Championship match, Goldberg and Shawn Michaels went to a no contest. Ric Flair defeated Maven, Molly Holly and Victoria defeated Lita and Trish Stratus. Booker T defeated Randy Orton by DQ. And the night started off with the Dudley Boys retaining the World Tag Team Championships over the duo from Law Resistance of Rene Dupree and Rob Conway. So on that happened on this date 20 years ago today. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Rick, if you can stick around for a couple of moments after the show for post show. Of course, we'll be back here, as I said, Sunday for the panel show. So, Rick, I hope you'll be back for that. Share your experiences with everybody, what we read tonight.
Yeah.
And, of course, next Friday, Tim Olson will be joining me as we will be looking at comics that went on sale. We'll be introducing everybody to Hillman comic. I believe Miracle Comics and Rocket Comics were the two titles there. So we'll be introducing everybody to those books. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. And we will see you back here on Sunday.
I wish everyone